Nuclear weapon. Terminology. A weapon of mass destruction, WMD, is a nuclear, radiological, chemical, biological, or any other weapon that can kill and bring significant harm to a large number of humans, cause great damage to human-made structures, buildings, and natural structures, or the biosphere. The scope and usage of the term has evolved and been disputed, often significant more political than technical. Original coined an reference to aerial bombing with chemical explosives during World War II. It has later come to refer to large-scale weapons of other technologies, such as chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear. At the time, nuclear weapons had not been developed. Japan conducted research on biological weapons and chemical weapons had seen a wide battlefield use in World War First. They were outlived by the Geneva Protocol of 1925. Italy used mustard agent against civilian and soldier in Ethiopia in 1935-36, following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki that ended World War II and during the Cold War. The term came to refer more to non-conventional weapons. The application of the term to specific nuclear and radiological weapons is traced by William Seyffer to the Russian phrase "оружие массового поражения", weapon of mass destruction. A nuclear weapon, also called an atom bomb, nuke, atomic bomb, nuclear warhead, a bomb or nuclear bomb, is an explosive device that derives its destructive force from nuclear reactions, as fission bomb, or from a combination of fission and fusion reaction, thermonuclear bomb. The energy of a nuclear explosion. Both bomb types release large quantities of energy from relatively small amounts of matter. The first test of a fission atomic bomb released an amount of energy approximately equal to 20,000 tons of TNT. The first thermonuclear hydrogen bomb tested released energy approximately equal to 10 million tons of TNT. A thermonuclear weapon weighing a little more than 2,400 pounds or 1,100 kilograms can release energy equal to more than 1.2 million tons of TNT. A nuclear device no larger than traditional bombs can devastate an entire city by blast, fire, and radiation. Since they are weapon of mass destruction, the proliferation of nuclear weapons is a focus of international relations policy. The first nuclear weapons have been used twice in war, both times by the United States against Japan near the end of World War II on August 6, 1945. The US Army Air Force detonated a uranium gun-type fusion bomb named Little Boy over the Japanese city of Hiroshima. 3 days later, on August 9, the US Army Air Forces detonated a plutonium implosion type fusion bomb nicknamed Fat Man over the Japanese city of Nagasaki. The bombings caused injuries that result in the death of approximately 200,000 civilians and military personnel. The ethics of these bombings and their role in Japan's surrender are subject of debate. Since the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, nuclear weapons have been detonated over 2,000 times for testing and demonstration. Over 2,000 nuclear tests have been conducted in over a dozen different sites around the world: Red Russia, Soviet Union, blue France, light blue United States, violet Britain, black Israel, orange India, yellow China, brown Pakistan, green North Korea, and light green terrorists exploded and of nuclear bombs. Today, the United States and Russia have the most nuclear weapons. There are other countries that have nuclear weapons are China, France, United Kingdom, India, Israel, North Korea, and Pakistan. South Africa used to have nuclear weapons, but they decide to destroy them. Non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. The Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons aims to reduce the spread of nuclear weapons, but its effectiveness has been questioned and political tensions remained high in the 1970s and 1980s. Modernization of weapons continues to this day. Nuclear chain reaction. In fusion weapons, a mass of fissile material enriched uranium or plutonium is forced into superficially allowing at an exponential growth of nuclear chain reaction, either by shooting one piece of subcritical materials into another, the gun method, or by compression of a subcritical sphere or cylinder of fissile material using chemical-fueled explosive lenses. The latter approach, the implosion method, is more sophisticated than the former. A major challenge in all nuclear weapon Design is to ensure that a significant fraction of the fuel is consumed before the weapon destroys itself. The amount of energy released by fission bomb can range from the equivalent of just under a ton to upwards of 500,000 tons, 500 kilotons of TNT. Fission production. All fission reactions generate fission products. The remains of split atomic nuclear. Many fission products are high radioactivity but short-lived, or moderately radioactivity but long-lived, and as such, they are a serious form of radiation contamination. Fission products are the principal radioactivity component of nuclear fallout. Another source of radioactivity is the burst of free neutrons produced by the weapon. When they collide with other nuclear surrounding material, the neutrons transmute those nuclei into other isotopes, altering the stability and making them radioactivity. The most commonly used fissile metals for nuclear weapons applications have been uranium 235 and plutonium 239. Less commonly used have been uranium 233, neptunium 237, and some isotopes of americium may be usable for nuclear explosive as well, but it is not clear that this has ever been implemented, and they are plausibly used in nuclear weapons is a matter of dispute. H-bomb, hydrogenic bomb. The other basic type of nuclear weapons produce a large proportion of its energy in nuclear fusion reaction. Such fusion weapons and are generally referred to as thermonuclear weapons of more while as hydrogenic bomb, abbreviated as H-bomb, as they rely on fusion reaction between isotopes of hydrogen, deuterium, and tritium. All such weapons derive a significant portion of their energy from fission reaction used to trigger fusion reaction, and fusion reaction can themselves trigger additional fission reaction. Only 6 countries, United States, Russia, United Kingdom, China, France, and India, have conducted thermonuclear weapon tests. Whether India has detonated a true multi-staged thermonuclear weapon is controversial. North Korea claims to have tested fusion weapons as of January 2016, so this claim is disputed. Thermonuclear weapons considered much more difficult to successfully design and execute than primitive fission weapons. Almost all of the nuclear weapons deployed today use the thermonuclear design because it is more efficient. Thermonuclear bomb work by using the energy of a fission bomb to compress and heat fission fuel In the Teller Ulam design, which accounts for all multi-megaton yield hydrogen bombs. This is accomplished by placing a fusion bomb and fusion for tritium, deuterium, or lithium deuterate in proximity with a special radiation reflection container. The Teller-Ulam design. When the fusion bomb is detonated, gamma rays and X-rays emitted first compress the fusion fuel. Then heated to thermonuclear temperature. The using fusion reaction create enormous number of high-speed neutrons, which can then induce fusion in materials not normally prone to it, such as depleted uranium. Each of these components is a stage with the fusion bombs as the primary and the fusion capsule as the secondary. In a large megaton range hydrogen bomb, about half of the yield comes from the final fusion of depleted uranium. That's our bomba. Virtually all thermonuclear weapons deployed today use the two-stage design described above, but it is possible to add additional fusion stage, each stage igniting a large amount of fusion flow in the next stage. This technique can be used to construct thermonuclear weapons of arbitrarily large yield, and in contrast to fusion bombs, which are limited in their explosive force. The largest nuclear weapons ever detonated, the Tsar bomba of the USSR, which released an energy equivalent of over 50 megatons of TNT, was a three-stage weapon. Most thermonuclear weapons are considerably smaller than this, due to practical constraints from missile warhead space and weight requirements. Other types. Some nuclear weapons are designed for special purpose. A neutron bomb is a thermonuclear weapon that yields a relatively small explosion, but a relatively large amount of neutron radiation. Such a device could theoretically be used to cause massive casualties while leaving infrastructure most intact and creating a minimal amount of fallout. The detonation of any nuclear weapon is accompanied by a blast of neutron radiation. Surrounding a nuclear weapon with suitable materials such as cobalt or gold creates a weapon, a salted bomb. This device can produce exceptionally large quantities of long-lived radioactive contamination. It has been conjectured that such a device could serve as a doomsday weapon because such a large quantity of radioactivities with half lives of decades lifted into the stratosphere where winds would disrupt it around the globe will make all life on the planet extinct. Nuclear electromagnetic pulse. During the starfish prime high altitude nuclear test in 1916 to an unexpected effects was produced which called a nuclear electromagnetic pulse. This an intense flash of electromagnetic energy produced by a rain of high energy electrons, which in turn are produced by a nuclear bomb's gamma rays. This flash of energy can permanently destroy or disrupt electronic equipment and sufficiently shielded. It has been proposed to use this effect to disable an enemy's military and civilian infrastructure as an adjunct to other nuclear conventional military operation against the enemy. Because the effect is produced by high altitude and nuclear detonation, it can produce damage to electronics over a wide, even continual geographical area. The simplest method for uh, delivering a nuclear weapon is a gravity bomb dropped from aircraft. This was the method used by the United States against Japan. This method places few restriction on the size of the weapons. It does, however, a limited attack range, response time to an impending attack, and the number of weapons that a country can field at the same time. These miniaturization nuclear bombs can be delivered by both strategic bombers and tactical fight bombers. This method is the primary means of nuclear weapons delivery. The majority of USA nuclear warheads are, for example, are three or four gravity bombs, namely namely the B-16-1. More uh, preferable from a strategic point of view in a nuclear weapon mounted on a missile, which can use a ballistic trajectory to deliver the warhead over the horizon. Also, even short range missile allow for a faster and less vulnerable attack. The development of long-range intercontinental ballistic missile and submarine-launched ballistic missile has given some nations the ability to plausibly deliver missile anywhere on the globe with a high likelihood of success. More advanced systems, such as multiplayer independent independently targetable entry wishlist can launch multiplayer warheads at different targets from one missile, reducing the chance of successful missile defense. Today, missiles are most common among systems designed for delivery of nuclear weapon, making a warhead small enough to fit onto a missile source can be difficult. Tactical weapons. Tactical weapons have involved the most variety of delivery types, including not only gravity bombs and missiles, but also artillery shells, land mines, and nuclear depth charges and torpedoes for anti-submarine warfare. An atomic mortar has been tested by the United States. Small two-man portable tactical weapons, some of what Michelin referred to as scientists bombs, such bomb, such as the special atomic demolition munition, have been developed. Also, the difficulty of combining suffices and yield with portability limits their military utility. Nuclear strategy. Nuclear warfare strategy is a set of policies that deal with preventing or fighting a nuclear war. The policy of trying to prevent an attack by a nuclear weapon from another country by creating nuclear relation in known as the strategy of nuclear deterrence. The goal in deterrence is to always maintain a second strike capability, the ability of a country to respond to a nuclear attack with one of its one, and potential to strive for first strike state status. The ability to destroy an enemy's nuclear forces before the artillery. During the Cold War, police and military terrorists considered their sorts of policies that might prevent a nuclear attack, and they developed game theory models that could lead to stable deterrence conditions. Critics of nuclear war strategy often suggests that a nuclear war between two nations would result in mutual annihilation. From this point of view, the significance of nuclear weapons is to deter war, because any nuclear war would escalate out of mutual distrust and fear, resulting in mutually assured destruction. This threat of national, if not global, destruction has been a strong motivation for anti-nuclear weapons activism. Thank you for your attention. The end.